What's up, guys? So today I have a kind of an interesting episode for you. I got a message from a guy named Andrew Glynn, who's one of our viewers, on a regarding cocktails book review we did as part of our Bartenders Book Club series on Barfly Freeport, which is our other channel, which you should go sub if you haven't. And he was saying that he was very intrigued about this cocktail called a Gin and It, which seemed to be a favorite of Sasha Petrosky and Georgette Mosier-Petrosky, the authors of the book. And Sasha Petrosky is obviously the guy who created Milk and Honey. I say obviously because I've just mentioned it so much on this channel, but if you don't know, he was a proprietor of a very famous cocktail bar in New York City called Milk and Honey. Anyway, Andrew was saying that he saw that the ingredients list in the book only listed gin and sweet vermouth, but didn't actually have a recommendations as to which gin and sweet vermouth to use. And I thought this was kind of an astute question because honestly, usually when recipes just say white rum or they just say gin, you can basically, like if something just says gin, my mind goes to London Dry Gin, because that is like kind of like the standard of what everyone thinks a gin is, right? But I gotta say that it's an astute question because gin and sweet vermouth are two spirits that have macerated ingredients that are proprietary to the blender. So no two gins are alike, no two sweet vermouths are alike. But what I will say though is that it's kind of difficult to go wrong with this cocktail because both gin and sweet vermouth are macerated with a lot of similar herbs and spices. And so they're kind of very, very good bedfellows regardless. And you can choose whichever. But I just decided that I would shoot this cocktail video for him today. And we would just use my recommendations, which I'm just pairing one gin, it's a London Dry Gin named number 3, and the Koki vermouth that I like to use, which is kind of my workhorse vermouth. Together, I think that these guys are fantastic together. And then I'll just say that the Gin and It, history-wise, kind of started its life as the Sweet Martini, which was kind of the precursor to the Dry Martini. The Sweet Martini was literally just gin and sweet vermouth. As time went on, though, the ratios were sort of changed, and it became a gin and Italian, right? So then everyone was calling it a gin and Italian. And then as Prohibition hit, they just shortened the Italian to It, and here you have the Gin and It. This is a very simple cocktail. It's gonna take 30 seconds to build this thing. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just going to add 1 ounce of sweet vermouth into our mixing glass. And 2 ounces of our gin. And then we're just gonna give a nice crack and stir. Crack that first piece. Give our cocktail a nice stir. So a lot of you guys are gonna be saying to yourselves right now, like, this is literally just a gin Manhattan, and basically you're right, this is a gin Manhattan. Manhattans predate martinis, but the first martinis, you know, like, it's kind of accepted that the Martinez was the cocktail that sort of gave birth to the martini, and the Martinez has Old Tom Gin and sweet vermouth. So this was probably a evolution from the Martinez. We're gonna grab a little strainy poo that I forgot. And we're just gonna strainy poo it into our glass. And then we're just gonna give it a nice lemon twist. First I'm gonna spritz it, and then I'm gonna beautify the peel.
I thought we were doing the fancy scissors.
Nah, I don't want to do the fancy scissors. I wanted to do like a parallelogram, although my parallelogram got kind of, you gotta like, the sharp, it needs to have like 2 sharp edges. I was just gonna, yeah, I was, but I wanted to do this instead and just like clip it like that. The thing is that I didn't want to pre-do the peel because I wanted to make sure that we got nice fresh zest on the cocktail itself. Let's take a sip of it. Fantastic. So my advice for building a cocktail like this is really, I mean, a cocktail like this is a testament to your knowledge of the sweet vermouth that you're using and the gins that you like to use. But I gotta say that, like I said in the beginning of this video, it's kind of hard to go wrong because a lot of the same ingredients you're gonna find in sweet vermouths as you will find in like a London dry gin. You know, we've got a lot of the same sort of citrus and spice elements that go into those blends, and so you are gonna find things to sort of match. The thing is that, you know, London Dry is going to be like juniper forward, but you're going to have nice citrus notes that are going to pair really well with some of the kind of more savory aspects and sort of spice aspects inside the Sweet Vermouth. This is a really nice cocktail to sort of end the night, or end your dinner is kind of how I would drink this. It's a beautiful color. You get nice bright citrus right off the nose, like you get this nice bright citrus. What's really nice is that the gin pairs so well with the vermouth, but the vermouth kind of brings up the real. So like you get the gin first, and then it kind of devolves into the vermouth flavor, kind of to the back of your palate. But it's just like a really nice marriage. So there it is, the gin and it.